So today I wanted to talk about a relationship hack, actually. Um, this channel is about life and equity. Equity, of course, being the financial aspect of life, and life being about life and life experience. So I've been married for almost 28 years now. Lovely, lovely wife. You'll get to meet her on some of these occasionally, but um, there's a relationship hack that I come across, and it's actually from Gottman Institute. If you've not heard of that, it's a great resource for anybody who cares about their relationship. One thing that they mention in there is um, listen for bids and actually ask. Bids are like requests or a requests for attention or a request for acknowledgement from a relationship, from a spouse or someone who you're in a relationship with. And then also just ways to go above and beyond to um, so that your significant other knows that you care, and that you've always they're always top of mind. So there's some things that I do almost on a daily basis, if you will, specifically to feed the relationship, and I'm talking about my intimate relationship with my wife. Um, And really, you know, a good measure, or a good gauge to know whether you're doing something uh, that's specifically feeding the relationship or not is to gauge it this way. It's are you doing these things, like would you be doing these things if you were single? And if you're not, you may be going above and beyond, or you may be feeding the relationship. If you're doing things that you would do anyway, like cooking, cleaning, paying the bills, um, doing the laundry. Those things, you would be doing those if you were single. So those things are not considered feeding the relationship. Now, is it beneficial? Yes, absolutely. Any adult should be taking care of those things, and it's not a matter of whose whose turn it is. It's both individuals show up into the relationship 100%. You both give 100%. That's what makes a relationship work. It's not a 50-50, it's 100 and 100. That's how you make a relationship work. Otherwise, you're keeping score, which is a childish thing to do. That's not how emotionally mature adults show up. They just don't. You show up 100%. You do the things that need to be done without having to be asked, and that goes a long way. But along the lines of doing things, or some examples of things that are feeding the relationship specifically. Um, some examples. My wife, her work day starts earlier than mine. She starts at 7 o'clock in the morning. My work day starts at 8 o'clock in the morning, just because of the careers that we're in. So she leaves for work at about 6:20. She actually gets up at 4:40. Now, I do not have to get up that early. I can be ready in about 5 minutes. I do my hair. It doesn't take me any time at all, literally, as you can see. So there's no reason for me to get up at 4:40 in the morning except to be with her, and except to have time to feed the relationship, and uh, that time alone that we have in the morning, we enjoy coffee. So we get up, we have coffee, and we kind of have our routine where we have coffee, and then she gets ready, and I just spend time with her, and we visit, and then she makes her lunch, and then she heads off to work. So a couple of things that I do to feed the relationship on a daily basis is I get up early with her. I get up at 4:40 with her. I go and spend time with her every single morning. These are not things that I would do if I were single. So this is feeding the relationship. We have that time together in the morning, which is vital for our communication and our closeness. And we actually sit together on the couch and we look out the window while we enjoy our coffee. So we're right next to each other and we're snuggling and enjoying our coffee. And then again, she goes and gets ready, and I go into the bathroom, and I just hang out with her while she's doing her hair, whatever. And then she comes out and she makes her lunch, and here again, I'll grab her water bottle and get ice in it and fill it up and get it ready to go and make sure she's got everything ready to go. So those are some things I do on a daily basis. Compliment her quite frequently and assure her that um, that I love her and just general compliments. Being kind, being a kind uh, human goes a long way. And then some other things that I do on, let's say, a weekly basis. I always like to make sure her car's filled up with gas. And if I'm filling it up with gas, I'll take it to the car wash. Do that on a weekly basis, at least. Make sure she's got a full tank of gas for the week ahead. So that's not something she has to worry about. Anyway, so again, if you're feeding the relationship, it's things that you wouldn't do if you were single. Another thing, and this goes back to the Gottman, the bids, is if I'm getting something for her out of the other room or out of the basement, I'll always ask, is there anything else I can get for you? Um, and it's just, after you do it for a little while, it just becomes a habit. And it's not something that it's just not something I've ever talked to her about. In fact, when she watches this, she'll be like, what the crap? You know? So she'll find out about it then. But it's not something I've ever talked to her about. I just started doing it after I heard the Gottmans talk about it. And it really goes a long way. It's like a sprinkle and a little bit of a little bit of icing on the cake. And so I'm already going, let's say, down in the basement to grab her something or to get something we need, and I just simply say, "Hey, is there anything else you need, or can I get you anything else while I'm or if I'm at that store, reach out to her, hey, need anything? I'm going to the store anyway." And that just again, it's she will always know that she's top of mind and that she's important. And that goes a long way. And again, that's not something that I would do if I were single. I wouldn't be calling anybody. I wouldn't fill up somebody else's tank. I wouldn't get up at 4:40 in the morning if I was single. Um, so all of those things go to feed the relationship. So again, just a quick recap. If it's not something you would do when you're single, then that's feeding the relationship. If it's for the benefit of the relationship. If it is something that you would do if you were single, like cooking, cleaning up the bathroom, laundry, those things are not feeding the relationship. That's just stuff that adults do. Paying bills, going to work, that's just stuff adults do. Anyway, food for thought, and hope this is beneficial. Hope you find value in it, and look for ways that you might be able to show up for your in your relationship in a way that goes above and beyond to actually feed the relationship. It goes a long way. Hope this helps. As always, please like and subscribe. Appreciate the views and yeah, appreciate you all. Bye now.